Hey everyone, Mr. Kakate here. I'm going to be going through how to solve what's called like manipulating equations or solving literal equations, which aligns to IXL Skill Level K, I.9. And before we get started, I want to say that if you need a refresher on what inverse operation is, it might be a good idea to check out the video on inverse operations refresher, just to get a quick review of what that means. So if you feel good on inverse operations, this should be pretty simple. Start with an example problem here. T equals USV. We know that three letters next to each other means multiplication. So U times S times V. Okay, it's asking to solve for U. That means we want to get U by itself. So that means at the end of this whole thing, we want to have U equals something. Okay, so let's start with rewriting. T equals U times S times V. We know the inverse of times is division, so we're going to divide both sides by SV. Okay, these are going to cross out, so we're going to be left with U on this side, which is what we want. And on this side, we can't simplify this anymore, so that is our final answer. U equals T over SV. Pretty simple, right? Okay, so at the end of this, we want T equals something. So we see that next to the T we have Q plus S and then plus T. So basically if we can just subtract Q, right, we'll be left with R minus Q on this side. They're not like terms, so we can't simplify that. These go away. Now we have S plus T. Subtract S from both sides, right? So now we're left with R minus Q minus S. These S's are gone. We're left with T. So once we have T on one side by itself, we know that's our final answer. So T equals R minus Q minus S. That is it. So for this last one, we have T equals 1 over F, and we want to solve for F. It gets a little tricky here. So we know that there's division going on here, so we know we need to multiply both sides. The denominator is what we have to multiply by, so we have to actually multiply both sides by the variable that we want, which is F. Even though it cancels out on this side, it's still over here on this side, so we're left with F T equals 1, and then we want the F by itself. That's why we wrote it over here, so we never forget that. We're just going to divide both sides by what's next to the F, which is T. Cross that out. Now we have a final answer here of F equals 1 over T. If you have any further questions on this, got confused by any of it, or just want some help going through the entire skill, me and Mr. Showalter are definitely available. Just email us or message one of us on Remind, and we'll figure out a way to give you some more one-on-one help. All right, take care, guys.
Cash on me, like I hit the lottery. Pose a trip, watch on how they follow me. Honest blue.